A bill promising hurricane relief and changes to powers held by state officials was rejected by North Carolina's governor today. Good evening at 10. I'm Brian Blakely. Roy Cooper calls that bill, known as SB 382, a sham, and the legislation was passed by lawmakers in Raleigh last week. Our chief political correspondent Andy Weber is here tonight. And Andy, this veto may have a chance of standing.
Brian, that's right, and it's because of 3 Republican state reps who voted no when the bill was first before lawmakers last Tuesday. The question now is, will they flip their vote come next week when the General Assembly returns to work? North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper handing down a veto Tuesday afternoon, rejecting Senate Bill 382, legislation that had been introduced and passed by Republicans at the General Assembly within 2 days.
We need to continue to work on particularly the disaster component here.
The supermajority sold the legislation as being a bill focused on Helene relief, pointing to its allocation of more than $200 million in additional funds. But Democrats all voted against it, arguing SB 382 contained unconstitutional changes to powers held by state officials, including the Attorney General and the governor.
Today is the biggest abuse I have seen since I've been here, and that is saying a lot.
In his veto message, Cooper called the bill a sham that it claimed to be disaster relief while taking away appointment powers from the governor's office. Lawmakers are set to return to Raleigh next week, and an override vote is expected. The GOP has the votes they need in the Senate, but appear 3 short in the House.
Look, this is a fascinating development.
These 3 Republicans shown on screen are all from Western North Carolina and all voted against SB 382. None have said if they plan to change their votes. If no Democrats cross over, Republicans need all 3 on board to override the veto.
What the Republicans will certainly try to do is to flip those 3 Republicans back to their side. Future Speaker Destin Hall has said he thinks he has those votes. I think obviously Roy Cooper and the Democrats are going to try to do the opposite, try to get them to hold the line. We're all just going to have to see what happens.
Yeah, you're fine with it. Now, Andy, have any of these Republican holdouts said how they're going to vote next week on this?
Yeah, Brian, I was able to get in touch with one of the state reps, Mike Clamp, but he refused to comment on his position. But we did hear from State Rep Plus last week. He said the bill did a lot and he couldn't have time to understand how far-reaching it was, if it would also impact his part of Western North Carolina.
And it's interesting that it's part of Western North Carolina. We're going to see how this plays out with a lot of the lobbying and jockeying going back and forth between next week. All right, Andy, thanks.